into the earth. Is that what you have felt in some of these different ones, kind of you were being sucked into the earth?
Yeah, exactly. There was one back in 1998 where I spent some time in. I think it was at Avebury Truslow. It was kind of star-like formation. I actually had that feeling of, just like you're describing, of being pulled into the earth. And I actually fell asleep for a few seconds, and when I woke up, I actually felt like I was underground. It was not a comfortable feeling. I don't know why it does that, but yeah.
It's not a comfortable feeling. By the way, George, my iPhone did work there. Okay. I took a lot of pictures, and I literally listened to you yesterday and hooked you up on my iPhone yesterday and called you on my iPhone today because of your connection there. So that was really cool that you alerted us that we can use our iPhones. But again, back to what the general feeling that we walked away with is that this is an art place, that this is a message board that is connecting 2012. You know, the big crop circle a year ago, as you know, was the solar system on December 21st, 2012. You know, that one has to be remembered. And then the big headdress of the Mayan chieftain this year was the second message, connecting all those people and times and calendars together to the crop circles. All those certainly have to be put on the chalkboard so that we can connect the dots.
Yeah, it definitely is about connecting the dots, and it definitely pulls you along to connect more of them. No doubt about it.
Well, is science investigating this at all? And when I say science, I'm talking about, universities, for example.
I haven't seen a lot of that. I wish there was more because, I'm a member of some of these scientific societies, AAAS and so forth, and I read the scientific magazines and journals every week. And unfortunately, this sort of topic and a lot of topics that are associated with crop formations are never really taken seriously as I think they should be. I mean, there really should be some hard science being done here. We really could use the equipment and the funding because if we could figure out why the shapes were creating certain energies, I mean, who knows what the implications of that are. Unfortunately, as you and I know, George, I mean, a lot of these institutions get so narrowly focused, they just can't see beyond these little areas of specialization that a lot of academics get involved with, and we just haven't branched out there. It's just endemic to the system. I mean, to give you an example, you know about this ARPA-E grant proposal system that the Department of Energy had a couple months ago to get proposals for new types of energy systems and so forth. I mean, they got 5,000 proposals apparently, and they can't process that many. So, the vast majority of them, I think, like 98%, were returned without even any explanation of why they weren't.
And they'll give the money to their friends.
Right. Who would you think was reviewing these grant proposals? It was universities and the energy companies and, established institutions.
Bingo.
Right. There you go. So.
Let's go to Reno, Nevada. Hello, Philip. You're up with us on Coast to Coast.
Yes, I was wondering, first of all, now have there been cropsicles that are not on the, crops, like in snow or sand or gravel? And also, could they be something like, how the earth is a living creature, could it be like chakras in a human body?
Yeah, it definitely could have these kind of energy connections if you look at the different formations for how they're distributed across the planet, and they could connect in ways that we don't understand. I want to kind of almost imagine in my mind if each crop formation was connected to all the others in some ways at the same time, what sort of like a neural network or something like that. But there are ones, there are crop ice formations sometimes and all sorts of things like that occasionally in dirt and so forth. I'm not sure if those are exactly the same phenomenon. They may have another cause, but you definitely do get circles spontaneously forming themselves in different materials. I'm just not sure if they're the same cause or the same effects.
It is dramatic. I mean, Linda Moulton Howe is obsessed with this stuff, Simeon. I guess it can be literally infectious, can it?
Yeah, it can be definitely addictive. It really feels like you're coming in contact with something that's really unknown and mysterious, and that's kind of putting you in contact with something that you haven't really connected with before. And for many of us, because it has that overlay and the feeling of being UFO, ET connected, you feel like you're getting a little closer to that when you're in one of them, even indirectly. And so, it really definitely keeps pulling you back, just partly out of your own curiosity and partly out of this feeling like you're kind of connecting to some sort of really important mystery that you want to know more about. It pulls you back again and again.
Okay, next up we go to Granbury, Texas. Vincent, you're up. Good morning, Vincent.
Hello, George. Hello, Simeon.
Hi, good morning.
Before I get started here, I'd like to say a special hey and thanks to Tom. He's always so pleasant and professional but friendly on the phone. I know he's working his little heart out up there, and I appreciate him.
Good.
So I wish I knew the name of the guy or even the show, but about 25 years ago, I saw a crop circle researcher on some show, and he was talking about having taken the golden mean ratio, 1.6, yada, 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 and applying it to the dimensions of some of these crop circles. And this was back when they were mostly just little circles within bigger circles. They weren't full of pictures like they are now. But he using this formula, he was able to translate these things into mathematical formulas and from that into music. And he played about 4 of them, little passages, 3 of which sounded quite a bit like Bach, and 1 actually sounded almost exactly like a passage out of Brahms' first piano concerto. Are you familiar with that researcher, or do you know of anything like that?
You know, I'm not sure if I'm familiar exactly with that researcher. I remember I heard David Kingston, who unfortunately passed away recently, a really great researcher, and he played us some music.
That was a sad story, Simeon.
Yeah, what a pioneer in UFO research and the whole area, and he played us some music once that he had encoded his computer to kind of decipher the shapes. I think he would actually scan them in with a scanner and let the computer figure it out. And some of it did sound a little bit like Bach, if I remember correctly. It wouldn't be surprising because, anytime you kind of get this structured geometry, you're going to get definite geometric patterns in ones that are made naturally and in ones that are made by people. You find the phi ratio all over nature. It's how your body is structured around the phi ratio. And so many natural structures are based around the phi ratio. It almost seems to be like a very important frequency in our dimension here. And so you get these ratios. I'm sure you can turn them into music or express them in a lot of ways that would show you that there's some sort of coherency there.
Okay, let's take another quick – well, no, let's just chat a little bit before the break, Simeon. Then we'll come back with final calls for you as well. What's your latest work? What are you doing next?
Well, I'm really excited. Right after you and I got to say hi over at the IRVA conference, back in June, I believe it was, I got invited to do a remote viewing class in New York City, which I'm doing in 2 weekends from now. I hope anyone who wants to sign up, we still have some space. And I'm going to see if the Big Apple's ready to resonate. And I've also been asked to act as a technical consultant on a couple films.
Oh, good for you.
And a TV series related to science fiction, X-Files type stuff. I can't say too much about them right now, but this sort of things that we're talking about, people are working on to develop movies and TV dramas, So,
okay, well, we need that. Stay with us. We're going to be back in a moment with final phone calls with Simeon Hein on Coast to Coast AM. We're going live to Switzerland next hour with Eric von Daniken, author of Chariots of the Gods and also History is Wrong. But when we come back, let's take final phone calls with Simeon Hein right here on Coast to Coast AM. And welcome back to Coast. We're with Simeon Hein, and we'll take your final phone calls this half hour as well. Simeon, do you find that these people are very passionate about these formations one way or another, whether they're man-made or not?
The people, the circle makers, or the people that are involved with research?
Both, I would say.
I would say yes, all the way around. I mean, the researchers, we've had many, you've had many on the show. They're very passionate about it, and you always have this feeling like you're close to some really important discovery, which you really are. And the circle makers are equally passionate, many of them, because they honestly feel they don't see themselves at all like hoaxers or anything like that. They feel impelled to do this, and they feel like they're contributing to the evolution of the planet by creating shapes like this and creating, whatever it is they're creating out there, a sense of wonder and curiosity, and they're very committed to do it. They can't explain exactly why, but they feel it's important. So, and I don't doubt it in some way that it's very important.
All right, back to the phones we go now. Let's go to British Columbia and Canada International line. Hey, Lori, go ahead.
Hi, guys. Good show
Hi.
tonight.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, do you think there's any connection from crop circles to